Ah yes, the time we literally spent about $500,000 to burst China's bubble. Also, this is the only time I will be calling them by that name in this video, since they won't stop with their horrible practices. Love the country, can't stand their government. Ladies and gents, today I'm covering the funniest and most modern medieval spy attempt of the century, the West Taiwan spy balloon incident. Before I go any further, I'm going to answer the question, well, why are you disrespecting West Taiwan with the name West Taiwan? Well, in short, there's the human rights abuses, the genocides, the child labor, but the most despicable thing to me? They eat dogs. Yep, that's right, man's best friend. And miss me with the ridiculous, but it's their culture. I have nothing nice to say about people who actually eat Fido. Eat a cow or a chicken like a goddamn adult. There could literally be no food left on the planet, and I would just be like, watch out Clarice, I'm gonna have me some long pig. But yes, West Taiwan actually used a freaking balloon to attempt to spy on the most advanced country on the planet. I mean, the country has one of the highest economies in the world, actually has satellites, and they opted for a frickin' balloon. Well, fuck it. It isn't our tax dollars they're wasting. But Rabid, why would West Taiwan need to spy on us? I don't know, probably try and steal more designs and technology to attempt to reverse engineer into some Wish.com quality shit for South Park and The Simpsons to roast. I mean that literally. Anything they make is actually shit quality. But we'll get to that later. From January 28, 2023 to February 4th, 2023, a high-altitude balloon from West Taiwan flew across North American airspace, including Alaska, Canada, and the contiguous United States. Claims that it was of no danger and the West Taiwan government wasn't involved are fooling absolutely no one. Supposedly it was manufactured by a civilian West Taiwan defense contractor, but West Taiwan uses its private sector to create and enhance its capabilities, especially militarily. The balloon was initially tracked around January 15th near Hainan Island of West Taiwan, changes to altitude near the Pacific, and officials, literally our own included, claim it was blown off course. This is the silliest, goosiest statement I've ever heard. Why? Because on top of having, and I quote, 2 boxcars worth of spy equipment, National Security Council spokesman Admiral John Kirby said the craft had a propeller and could be maneuvered. Other officials said it also had more than one propeller and also had rudders. But yeah, we're supposed to believe it was blown off course. Images from YouTube plane flybys and forensic analysis showed antennas that were used for collecting and transmitting signals intelligence. The balloon also had multiple solar arrays that produced enough power to operate multiple active intelligence collection sensors, and it could even collect and geolocate communications, which answers the modern age proverb, yes, they can hear us now. Initially, the U.S. planned to shoot it down, but decided against it, believing the risk of damage to civilian property and injuries to civilians was not worth the risk. It was first spotted February 1st, 2023, by people on a commercial airliner over Billings, Montana. That same day, Billings Gazette editor Chase Doig spotted it and initially believed it to be a star or even a UFO. On February 2nd, NORAD released a statement stating it was aware of a high-altitude surveillance balloon believed to belong to West Taiwan and had been tracking it for several days. Now I'm going to go a little off the trail for a minute. Do you really think for 1 second we're going to allow West Taiwan to steal any secrets with their medieval spy balloon? If so, you're as delusional as Putin thinking he's succeeding in Ukraine. We're the most advanced country technologically speaking, so of course we're going to have the most advanced anti-surveillance countermeasures. The only thing we're going to allow this balloon to see is the topography of our country. Not that it really matters, as West Taiwan couldn't reverse engineer their way out of a paper bag. I mean, look at the J-20 for example, with their dumbass cannons. I'm sure I'll get some West Taiwanese bots in the comments. They are the superior design. Let me give you the Google description of cannons. Hang on there. A canard design is known to provide good supersonic performance, excellent supersonic and transonic turn performance, and improved short-field landing performance. So basically you can't perform optimally at supersonic speeds without your silly little T-Rex arms. Congratulations! Oh, West Taiwan doesn't steal designs. They make their own superior aircraft. Okay then, where's West Taiwan's 6th gen aircraft? Alright, cool. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to get back to our story. The balloon entered U.S. airspace over the Aleutian Islands, moved across Alaska, entered Canada over the Yukon, flew over British Columbia, then re-entered U.S. and Idaho before traveling to Montana. Montana is important here because it is part of the nuclear sponge, a slew of missile installations that house a large portion of nuclear-capable ICBMs. This is why I'm absolutely certain the balloon was sent to gather information on military bases, radar installations, and other sensitive info. If you're unaware of the term, the nuclear sponge is designed to soak up nuclear ICBMs of other countries in case of nuclear attack or war. It's basically in the middle of nowhere, far away from the nation's capital and the country's most populated cities. Oh shit, I guess I'm also going to have to do a video on that too. The nuclear sponge consists of roughly 400 LGM-30 Minuteman III missiles deployed around Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana, Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota, and Francis E. Warren Air Force Base in Wyoming. It then moved into Missouri and went on to Kansas, where it passed over Whitman Air Force Base, which is home to nuclear-capable Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirits. The balloon moved across each of these bases, hovering over them for up to an hour at a time, and even turned back and headed back to some of these bases after initially moving on. But, you know, the West Taiwan government was never involved, it wasn't maneuverable, and it was blown off course into North America. After realizing the American government had spotted the balloon, West Taiwan attempted to speed up the balloon to get it out of the U.S. faster. Throughout all of this, the U.S. government had to keep telling us rednecks in Florida man, don't attempt to shoot down the spy balloon. Typical bullets won't reach it at that range, they would be ineffective even if they did, and you would be more likely to injure an innocent bystander. Basically leaving us true patriots like, boo. Of course, even though officials claimed it had limited additive value from an intelligence collection perspective, the Pentagon took measures to protect sensitive sites, and you can bet your ass we took counterintelligence measures. In American education system terms, we spied on the spy balloon. Before shooting it down, we knew exactly what it was and wasn't capable of doing. In this exact order, it was first tracked by a pair of F22 Raptors, a crewed aircraft deployed by NORAD, basically a Boeing E-3 Sentry Airborne Early Warning and Control System, or AWACS for short, a Boeing RC-135 reconnaissance aircraft, and a U-2S Dragon Lady. The balloon held an average height of 60,000 feet. Since the U-2 can reach at least 70,000 feet, it means the aircraft could recon the balloon from all sides and above, and its capabilities meant it could monitor and even jam any radio emissions from the balloon, essentially preventing it from sending any data to Chinese comm satellites in orbit above. So to answer their question, no, you cannot hear us now. On February 4th, the balloon was over the Carolinas, and the Pentagon was prepping for its final act. The Federal Aviation Administration closed airspace over an area larger than the state of Massachusetts, grounding all flights. Now, as the most powerful and intelligent military on the planet, you'd think we would be economic, right? Considering we do have the biggest national debt on the planet, I mean, 50 cal rounds cost roughly $1.75 to $6 per round, so that would be the weapon of choice, right? Hell no! This is the U.S. military we're talking about. We're here to drink booze and blow shit up. You bet your ass we're using a missile that costs around $400,000 to make it remember what gravity is. Why? Because fucking America, that's why. At 2:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on February 4th, 2023, a Raptor F22 fighter jet intercepted the balloon about 6 miles off the U.S. eastern coast and shot it with an AIM-9X Sidewinder missile, bringing its grand journey to an end. Splashing down in U.S. territorial waters estimated to be around 50 feet deep, where it would be recovered by FBI counterintelligence agents and Navy SEALs while being guarded by the U.S. Coast Guard. Another interesting statement from the U.S. government, they said, and I quote, "We had to use a missile to shoot it down as no bullet would be able to puncture its material, as it was a high-altitude balloon with thicker skin than your average balloon. The U.S. military expects us to believe that this round would be ineffective against a balloon. The same round that could leave someone liquid past tense by just missing you? Yeah, okay." One of my favorite parts in all this was West Taiwan's demand that we return the remains of the spy balloon to them. No? Not that it gained any beneficial intel, but you really think we're going to turn this thing over to you? You were blatantly spying on multiple sensitive military sites. If you're that upset about it, consider it payback for the Hainan Island incident in the early 2000s during the second Bush administration. The island of that location is absolutely not lost on me. To sum things up, West Taiwan basically floated a neon sign saying, "I spy over our country," as well as multiple nuclear capable and radar sites, got mad that we saw it in broad daylight, and used a $400,000 missile to pwn it out of our airspace. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to help support future videos, you can donate to my content fund in the link below, because kids and race car parts are freaking expensive, or you can just like and subscribe my channel. If you have any ideas for military topics for me to cover, whether historic or modern, drop a comment below and I'll give you a shout out in the next video. As always, stay classy. Peace! Oh man, my next video is going to be so much fun. It's going to be all about why when the story stops, the worry should start.